A biometric residence permit is an incredibly important document because it has your biographic details, it has your name, your surname, your date and place of birth, and it has your biometric information, the image of your face, the fingerprints, and it also confirms your entitlements while in the UK, whether or not you're allowed to claim benefits, to work, to study in the UK, and most importantly, it also confirms your immigration status. And I am aware that there are a number of people who experience severe difficulty in getting these biometric residence permits. So I decided to create a video where I explain 3 very effective ways of dealing with this situation. And most importantly, at the end of this video, I also explain how you can prove your immigration status without these documents. So let us begin. Okay guys, in this video I'm going to explain why do we need to have biometric residence permits if you're not a British citizen and you don't have a right of abode or you don't have an indefinite leave to remain here in the UK, and also why it is important to make sure that you take proactive steps to renew your visa before the expiry of your biometric residence permits. And also I'm going to explain what happens after you have submitted your biometric residence permit application and what you can do, what options you have if you didn't get your biometric residence permit. And I'll finalize today's video by explaining how you can prove your immigration status without biometric residence permit. So this is when there is a delay in getting your biometric residence permit, but there are institutions which require you to prove your status in the UK. So I'm going to cover that as well. Your biometric residence permit, if you do not have a right of abode here in the UK, is an incredibly important document because first of all, it confirms your right to remain in the UK, it confirms your immigration status and whether or not you are allowed to work or study in the UK, and usually only with a biometric residence permit you will be allowed to open a new bank account and also to use the majority of NHS services, although by law you can use your GP even if you do not have any status in the UK. And if you are entitled to claim any benefits, which usually is not the case for those who do not have a right of abode here in the UK, in very, very limited circumstances, people are allowed to claim benefits. So for that, you'll need your biometric residence permit as well. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of renewing or extending your leave to enter or leave to remain, so in other words visa, before the expiry of your stay, because if you don't, usually it will have drastic implications on your future applications and is most likely to result in the refusal unless you can prove in very limited circumstances that paragraph 39E applies. And I would like to explain in this video very briefly what paragraph 39E means. However, guys, if you can avoid overstaying here, you need to make an application usually at least 28 days before the expiry of your visa. So please avoid overstaying at all costs. So if you go to your browser and you type paragraph 39E immigration rules, and this page will appear .gov.uk website, and if you go to the very last section of part 9 of the immigration rule, you'll see the exceptions for overstays. So this is the paragraph which explains when the Home Office can close their eyes on the period of overstaying, which is no more than 14 days. So if your visa expired and you didn't make an application on time, the Home Office, under certain circumstances, explain that paragraph 39E can disregard your period of overstaying, provided you made your application within 14 days after the expiry of your leave. So when can they ignore the fact that you overstayed your visa and you didn't extend this on time? This is usually when you failed to make your application for the reasons beyond your or your representative's control. For reasons, for example, when there was a bereavement in your family or you got ill and you needed to be urgently hospitalized. Or, for example, where your legal representatives submitted an application on your behalf before the expiry of your leave. However, something happened with the application for technical reasons and they realized that it was not successfully submitted to the Home Office. This may be regarded as something which was outside of their control, provided the technical issue was not because of the legal representative's fault, but because of some issues at the Home Office side. Also, as you can see here, if you scroll down, they will disregard the COVID overstaying from 24th of January 2020 until 31st of August 2020. And also, certain applicants under the Hong Kong British Nationals Overseas route will be allowed to utilize Section 39E if they overstayed from 1st of July 2020 until 31st of January 2021. However, guys, please try and make sure that you submit your further leave to remain application on time. Just put the application in your diary and usually approach your legal representatives at least 3 months before the expiry of your leave so that they have enough time to prepare and submit your application on time. Now I would like to explain what usually happens when you submit your application. I would like to show you a very helpful website which is called What Do They Know? This is where members of public can ask the Home Office representatives various questions. A guy submitted a request regarding the biometric residence permits, and here's what the Home Office responded. They said that for all biometric residence cards, regardless of the application reason, we advise applicants that they should expect delivery within 10 working days of receiving the notification of their decision. Within 2 working days of receiving the decision notification, the customer should receive a delivery notification from a .gov notify website. Here is how it looks like. So this is your .gov notify website, detailing the delivery consignment reference of your biometric residence permit. On the day of the delivery, TNT, so this is our company, the courier for the Home Office documents, this soon will become the FedEx Express company, will also contact you by email confirming the delivery details. And if after they contacted you, you have not received your biometric residence permit, they suggest to check the application via the website, and this is the address they've given. However, sometimes the problem is not with delivering the biometric residence permit. Sometimes it may be that the problem is with issuing the biometric residence permit. So if the problem is not with the delivery company, this is what you're likely to get. Good afternoon. Thank you for your inquiry regarding the delivery of these biometric residence permits. We have passed your inquiry onto your caseworker as the delivery team is unable to assist you further. So this means that the problem is not with the TNT. It means that there was something wrong between the Home Office and the delivery company. So this is something you need to do. You need to start chasing the Home Office. So this will be your second option of dealing with the biometric residence permit delays. And here is how you can contact the Home Office. You will need to complete an application form. And here is the address: biometric residence permits, service.gov.uk, and not arrived post office collect. And another way of finding this particular website is by typing in your browser, and my BRP has not been delivered. And the first .gov.uk website is the one which you need, where you can report your problem. So this is the link to this form. This is a very simple and straightforward form. You will be asked only 6 questions. The first one is, were you due to collect your documents from the post office? Usually the answer will be no, as the Home Office usually sends the biometric residence permits to the Home Office addresses. And the second question is, do you have a consignment number? In many cases, guys, you will not even have the consignment number, so there is nothing to worry about. All you have to do is just indicate that you don't have one. You usually get it only if the Home Office confirms via .gov notify website that your biometric residence permit has been dispatched. And the next question is about your decision letter, whether or not you received it. And the answer is usually yes. If you don't remember the details of it's very, very advisable for you to have this letter. They will be asking about the date of the decision. So if you have it, please provide them with details because it will help them trace the application online. However, if you don't have it, again, don't worry about it. Just say that you do not have this letter with you at the moment. Next question is, would you like your biometric residence permit sent to the address that is on the letter from the Home Office? If you haven't changed your postal address since you've made your application, then the answer should be no. However, if you are aware that you are going to move addresses soon, you'll need to notify the Home Office as soon as possible. So here's how you can do this. So you go to your browser and you type UK VI change of address, and this is the website you need. Visa address updates. They provide you with information as to how you should complete the form. Question number 5, here they will ask you to provide them with your personal details, your name, your surname, your date of birth, country of nationality, and your passport number. And finally, they're asking you how they should contact you, whether they need to contact you by email or by post. I usually suggest to use a contact by email, because if you ask them to contact you by post, first of all, it will not be as quick as contacting you by email. And secondly, there is a chance of the application being delayed because of the postal strikes or because the letter was lost. So, and once you've completed the form, at the very last page, you will get a chance to check all your answers. And if you would like to change the answers, there will be a box allowing you to change this information. And once you're happy with the application form, you're very welcome to send it. And also, guys, if your English is not your first language, or if you would like to help someone else, there is an option there. At the very last stage, before submitting the application, they ask you whether or not you are the one who completed the application form. And there is nothing wrong in asking someone else to help you with the application. So all you have to do is just simply state that someone else completed the form on your behalf and give their details. Okay, now in the ideal world, after submitting this application form, you will get the answer within 5 working days. But as I said, this is the ideal world. Sometimes this doesn't happen, and if you do not get any satisfactory response from the Home Office within a reasonable period of time, there is a third option of dealing with the delay in getting your biometric residence permit, and that is contacting your local MP. So there are 2 options. You can either contact them in writing or by visiting their office. I always suggest to visit your local MPs in person, because it's always good to know who your local MP is. And here is how you can find your local MP. So if you go to your browser and you type find your local MP, and this is the members.parliament.uk website is the one you need. And here you will need to provide further details. Let's say you would like to find your local MP, and let's say you live in Richmond area, so that's TW9 area, and here you go, here is your local MP, so Sarah Olney, and these are her contact details. This is her email, and this is her postal address and the telephone number. So if you'd like to see Sarah in person, this is the number to call. If you'd like to drop her line, then this is the email address for her. To make your MP's life easier, I strongly suggest you to gather all the key details about your case, and the most efficient way of doing this is by creating a chronology of facts. So in the left-hand side corner, you may write a date, and in the right-hand side corner, you can write the events and just basically explain when you arrived in the UK, what type of application you've submitted, and when the application was submitted, and what's happened after the application. If there were any events from the Home Office, then you need to explain them as well. And at the top of this chronology of facts documents, I suggest that you insert your name, your full name, your surname, your postal address, your email address, and your date of birth and your nationality. I was told by many MPs when I've encouraged my clients to approach them for further assistance that the Home Office usually aims at responding to the MPs within 2 weeks. And although this is not the case all the time, usually the Home Office is very efficient when responding the inquiries from local MPs. So these were 3 ways of chasing your BRP application. But what can you do if you are in the middle of the chasing the Home Office for your biometric residence permits, and your employer, your landlord, or the NHS or other government departments ask you to confirm your immigration status. In this video, as I promised, I would like to show you how you can very easily do this. So for your employer, you need to go to this website, .gov.uk/proof right to work with dashes, and apply for a share code. So here you need to complete a very simple and straightforward form by giving your details and allowing the Home Office to access your files, and then a share code will be created. And once you have the share code, you need to send your employer to this website, .gov.uk, view right to work, all with dashes, and here the employer will need to provide your details and also to provide the share code. And this is how they can view your immigration status, and this will be a proof for your employer. This will be also a proof that they have checked your immigration status and they do not employ an illegal migrant. And the same system works with your landlords, so you can get a share code and they can view your immigration status via the Home Office website. With regards to NHS and other government departments, you can explain what problems you have, maybe provide them with copies of your correspondence with the Home Office, or if you already approached your local MP, maybe you can provide them with a copy of a letter from your local MP as well. You'll need to encourage the NHS or other government departments to approach the Home Office directly and request a confirmation of your immigration status. And that was the end of this video. Guys, if you found this information useful, or if you think that someone can benefit from this information, please share this video with your friends and colleagues and relatives, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Have an amazing day.